Hello everybody, Owen here from the Lardcore team and welcome back to the first of what will hopefully be many a devlog video. First things first, I guess we have to apologise for the lack of updates of any kind across our social media and including video production. We have had to push things back ever so slightly just because we've been keeping our heads down and getting on with a bunch of different areas, of which we will be covering in this video. So first things first, straight off the bat, has been the changes to the weapon models, specifically the heavy weapon stuff, and that includes the projectiles as well. The number one critique I had of Lardcore when I first played it was that the projectiles are just way too tiny compared to the original game. You'll remember in the original, the heavy weapon launcher, I guess, which was used across all models, so bazooka, mortar, airburst, super airburst, guided missile, homing missile, and grenade launcher, they were all the same. So we've been able to sort of inject our own style into those models, but they have required changes too, including, removing of handles, of triggers, because of how simplistic the animations are. When the pig is holding the launcher, it's just kind of one arm that's up. So the details of how that model or launcher functions isn't really that important. As long as the handle is where it needs to be when the pig is holding it, that's fine by me. But I needed the projectile models to be a lot bigger, a lot chunkier, because we have a lot more of them to play with now, so that each individual heavy weapons that I've mentioned a moment ago, each of those, the projectile will be different for each model. So it won't just be the standard shell that is used across all of them. You'll have something that looks different, that will be colored different, and it also stretches across to the artillery shells as well. You remember in previous videos that we discussed with the community about how now that we have extra frames, the gameplay in places has sort of felt a bit too quick, a bit too weightless. But now that the projectiles have been increased in scale and size, I can say that that weighting has returned, and I'm just sort of hoping to bring that through when we come to doing a pass of the particle effects, which we'll be showing in future videos. Now, alongside all the projectile adjustments, we have also been very busy with getting the Minefield Markers in. Now, that is specifically for the pigs that have the ability to see the minefield. It's been quite eye-opening, actually, trying to define exactly what should happen when. And it's not really something that you pay attention to as a player a lot of the time, because you kind of already know automatically in the back of your mind that this pig should be able to see this at any given time. So for those of you that don't know, the way that the minefield works is that any pig that possesses the ability to see said minefield, so engineers of course, sappers, engineers, saboteurs, or in multiplayer just the sapper, and of course in single player again you have the elite pigs of the commando, hero, ace and legend being able to see the minefield, and in multiplayer the paratrooper can see it as well. Those guys can see the minefield, right? But did you know the other function of being able to see said minefield for those characters specifically? That function is that if that pig is standing within range of the minefield marker being displayed or being defined, then it will remain shown to the rest of your team. So you can effectively position your pig near a minefield, the turn will end for that pig, but the rest of your team, regardless of whether or not that pig can actually see the minefield, so if it's a grunt and you've got an engineer placed near a minefield, that grunt will be able to see that section of the minefield that is highlighted, which I think is pretty cool. But again, trying to define that and kind of for our programmers to wrap their heads around how that function works in terms of getting it updated, I guess, with the new effect that we're kind of applying over the terrain for that marker to be displayed, it's been a funky process. This function is incredibly handy, especially for new players that have not gone through the single player campaign, that aren't too keen on minefields, or at least how to navigate around them, especially with pigs that can't see said minefield. So trying to get that new marker in, trying to get the new texture that we're using that is displayed when the minefield marker appears. We've got a few ideas, but of course the black and yellow one, for me anyhow, is perhaps the most popular because it's so simple. You just need to see where the minefield is. It doesn't need to be too complicated, but yeah, so far, so good. Some of you with keen eyes may have noticed from some of our social media posts that the HUD itself has been changing as well, and that is very true for all the HUD elements, including the power bar, including the angle gauge in the top right corner, and the timer in the bottom left. I feel like we're very much finding our feet now with the kind of style that we want for the UI, including the inventory as well, including the HUD icons which have been updated, and just the general sort of text coloring to try and make things feel that little bit more gritty. Yet again, it's interesting to me how there are still certain things that as a player I don't notice when they occur on screen. For instance, did you know that when you draw the power bar, the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner actually minimizes ever so slightly to allow for that space to be filled by the power bar? For the next few weeks, I will be continuing on with my set dressing passes across all 51 maps in Lardcore. That is for both single and multiplayer, the likes of which hopefully you'll be able to see in future devlog videos. Speaking of which, what we want to know from you guys for those upcoming vids is, what do you want to know? Any questions that you have that are Q&A related, let us know in the comments. They can be directed at me, at our programmers, at our art department. Let us know everything you have to say, and of course don't forget to check out the rest of our social media in the description below. Hopefully we'll be continuing to push out this one video a month schedule, but if we have any further delays when it comes to this kind of content, we'll be sure to let you know across our social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere and anywhere. But for now, that's going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you later for the next one.